This is on air.
Roland knows who is winning the elections. It's 32 minutes after 6. Time for us to do the newspapers. We'll tell you what's making the front and back pages in terms of headlines in the newspapers, and then we will go through a few of the news portals. We're heading myjoyonline.com, cityfmonline.com, and of course the BBC.
Start with the Daily Graphic.
Yeah, front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Don't declare results. Catholic bishops advise media and political parties. The Most Reverend Charles Palmer Backle is on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Access Bank launches IPO today. Ghana issues dollar bond on local market. You're welcome to CPP. Dr. Dele urges disqualified aspirants. And we've got 51 days more to election 2016. The countdown as captured on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Back page, any foundation renovates Half Asene Hospital. But let's get on to page 3 on this issue of don't declare results. Page 3 in the Daily Graphic newspaper, and the story says the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference has advised all political parties, the media, and all Ghanaians to refrain from announcing any results of the December general election before they are declared by the Electoral Commission. According to the Catholic bishops, it was only the EC that was empowered to announce the results of the election. The bishops further urged Ghanaians to continue to repose their trust and confidence in the work of the EC throughout the period of the election, and called for the provision of the necessary logistics for the Commission to deliver on its mandate of ensuring peaceful, free, fair, transparent, and credible polls. You can continue to read more details in the story filed by Samuel Dodu and Zadok Kwame JC from Tamale. More in the newspaper. Roland, that's it for the graphic, really.
Well, the front page of the next paper we're looking at is the Ghanaian Times. Has on the front page Bishop won party. Hey. It should be bishops, either bishops won parties or bishop wants parties. Hey, they didn't proofread. Don't announce results. Suspected robbers burnt to death. The arms of government mustn't fight. That's according to Speaker and ECG staff. 2 of them convicted. On the back page, we have Black Maidens return from World Cup, and Ghana FA blocks grants holiday move. No Ghanaian and African player based award. That's playing on the continent. Your league now, yeah, Papa. Sometimes I
thought it was getting better, or it's still very stale, Ghana, right? It's still like. Let me do the Ghanaian Observer.
Please
Boot
do.
for boots as Baumia jabs Mahama. Why has the economy collapsed? In your hands, if you know what works. NDC sweats over scrapping nurse and trainee allowance. The NDC does not care for notness. They only care for their stomachs. That's according to Baumia. NPP to restore Ghana to its former glory. Papa Uswankuma. NDC World Bank in turmoil. So all the headlines on the front page of the Ghanaian Observer this morning, if you like, on the NPP side. Help stop counterfeits and illicit trade. That's another headline there on the front page of the paper. More like an editorial, kind of. You can grab the paper and read it. Okay, so that's it for the Ghanaian Observer, Roland.
We have front page of the Daily Guide. NDC targets Baumia lampoons Kumasi rally. Journalist dies mysteriously, and this gentleman, Confidence Keba, sorry. But apparently something happened over the night, and we were looking at this on the news as well. Ruby, cocaine dumps Ghana. There's a question that's being asked by the Daily Guide. We have GI, that's Ghana Integrity Initiative, also indicted Mahama over vote buying. And then we have News 1, that's the center spread. Nanado lists plans for creative arts industry. Did you look at the MPP's manifesto for the creative arts industry?
Yes, we did. That was what we tweeted on Saturday, actually.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have radio presenter opts out of RTP Awards. Have you been nominated for that?
No, I haven't.
You haven't. Well, IOC Barry's daughter. We do Barry. Listen. And then Santana supports Alma Mater.
That would be a big, right? Yeah, okay. But you know, this issue of the plans they have for the creative arts, I think everybody across board, everybody says it's commendable because this is the first time they've actually made provisions for the arts in their plan.
That's
as
a
in
political
written,
party.
yes.
All right.
But the question that I asked, which is very critical on Saturday, is how do we hold them accountable? Critical question because, you know, even in the arts, there are divisions. There are politicians within there. There are some who support this party. There are some who
various
support that
interest
party.
groups.
Yeah, and I get the feeling that instead of them being objective, they're being very partisan. So they are not. They don't even want to acknowledge what the individual parties
essentially tend to reflect or affect what the overall interest of the industry will be, or perhaps will overshadow it.
Yeah, that's the painful aspects. Because you guys are creative arts people, you're entertainers. Politicians haven't taken you serious in the past. This time around, they've made provision for you. They actually have policies, written, documented policies. But your front is divided. So how do you, if either party wins?
It's a great indictment on the creative arts.
Very shameful. But this is where we are.
Let's
wait
see
to see. But Rex Omar says Rex Omar is with the NDC. He says if the NDC does not carry out what they put in their document, he's going to scream and make noise.
Well, let's see.
Okay, let's do your uncle's paper, Roland. The Daily Dispatch. Disqualification Wahala. NPP wants PPP. Do not drag us into needless debates. More on the NCCE research on elections in the paper. Okay, so basically that will be it for the Daily Dispatch.
Front page of the BNFT, IMF punches holes in banking laws as it bids to secure public pairs. Local dollar bonds set to begin a train of issuances. First Bank is 2015 Investment Bank of the Year. And then we have Access Bank launches 104 million Ghana cedi IPO. So, back page, we have money lenders move to cut risk, and Adansi Rural Bank supports Farmers Day in 5 districts. We know the Farmers Day will be coming
the first Friday
early
in December.
Yes, the first Friday. Let me see. Okay, and then Ichuma Kwauma is CIMG Rural Bank of the Year. I think I have a friend who works there.
Yeah, a lot of banks got awards at the just ended CIMG Awards.
I think, and a lot of companies did well too.
Yeah.
At Lexus Bill.
Yeah.
And some
Drive Time on Joy.
Yes, yeah.
Radio Program of the Year.
I have to congratulate him personally because he constantly has me. Especially just immediately after the news, he has me with some nice ballads that he likes playing. Yeah,
the slow drive.
Yeah, that takes me off the gear. Especially because within that time I'm in traffic most of the time.
Then your romantic self comes alive.
Charlie, when I'm in the car, then I have to increase.
Romantic Roland Walker.
I'm telling you, it happens within that period. So beautiful.
Let's turn our attention to myjoyonline.com and let's start with this. Government to pay for treatment of electrocuted Ho nursing students that we brought to you. Mauli Yevuagbe, our colleague in Ho, joined us live in our AM News. Let's move on. $550 million Abacha loot to be repatriated to Nigeria by U.S. government. Samsung Galaxy Note 7 banned by more airlines over fire risk. Oh, Charlie. Catholic bishops urge confidence in EC ahead of December polls. Koku Anyidaho hacks Baumia, calls him incompetent liar. There's a video, Ayariga danced, and Roland, this was in your backyard. It was actually in your neighborhood, Roland Walker. Ayariga says he's not giving up, man.
You know what happened?
When their supporters?
They were supposed to have done their thing at 10 and just didn't show up. I think that, where was I? I was from I didn't pass through Ashaiman over the weekend. So, but I saw it, I think at the time when it was happening, I was seeing it. And I was wondering, nobody turned up from 10 o'clock to 5 in the evening.
Yeah, and he wants to be on the ballots.
But why is he still contesting?
According to him, yes.
Wow.
The battle is not over.
The battle is the Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at this. Mama V.
Yeah, there's a very sad, shocking story. Kumasi in shock over death of popular journalist, especially when we're told he did his program on Saturday and his colleagues say he didn't look unwell. You know, there was nothing to show that any terrible thing was going to happen to him, only for him to go to sleep and not wake up.
What did the autopsy say?
No, autopsy is not out yet. That's what
Okay.
we're waiting we would get. Or him in Terry would definitely let us know what's up. But in the meantime, his girlfriend has been arrested because it's been established that she was with him hours before he was found unconscious. So,
Wow.
yeah, really, really sad incident. May he rest in peace.
May he
really.
rest in peace.
Yeah, the lives that we have is not our own. I mean, I can be here today and not be here, not even tomorrow. I can be here today and not be here in the next hour or two, you know? Yeah. There are all sort of theories coming out. I guess the autopsy would settle a lot of the things that we've heard. Okay, so did Ayariga slip on NDC? We are contesting comments. This is a very interesting piece that you should read. You know, he spoke. And the things he said, maybe we should just click on it and share a bit of it. So, Mr. Fred Potufer, our director this morning, kindly open the story up for us. Okay, so let's go down. All right. The flag bearer of the All People's Congress has insisted he's contesting the upcoming elections despite his disqualification. Hassan Ayariga, speaking at the launch of his campaign at Ashaman, said he and his party are ready to govern the country. Quote, "We will demonstrate to the world that 2 subscribers alone cannot deny us the right to contest this election. No, it can never be possible. The NPP is contesting the elections. The PPP contesting the elections. The APC, we are contesting the elections. The NDC, we are contesting the elections." Do you get the thing?
He puts it.
He put himself
in the place of the NDC.
No, as part of the NDC, really.
There was a slip. Supposed to be a slip.
Well, that's what the story is asking, was it?
Maybe in his consciousness, he's NDC. Anyway, do we have more? Let's look at City FM, Mama V, and we have some stories there, interesting stories.
GCPP sues EC over disqualification. We'll have a lot of court issues this week, I'm predicting, because a lot of people have headed to court already.
But I think that the judges also monitor issues, they monitor the system, and they know what to do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as in what? It will be speedy?
Yeah.
I expect it to
Some
be
of them
so,
will
but
dismiss. Some of them will
PPP is in court. Now, GCPP also sues.
Anyway, we have to leave everything to the court.
Oh, yeah, definitely. State broadcaster biased towards NDC. That's a GII report, but this certainly is not new. I mean, it's always this trend, right?
Yeah, when the parties in power, they get a lot more.
Yeah.
I've been at GBC before, so I know how sometimes things.
We erred in scrapping nursing trainee allowances.
It's not as if it's the fault of the workers, really. Sometimes the
it's
things just come
it's
from.
it's the state broadcast.
Yeah, sometimes the call just come from above. They can't do anything.
Who are you? who do you think you are?
You just can't do anything. So all the GII people can't do anything about it.
They can report.
Yeah, they are entitled.
But it doesn't
to.
mean GBC will change, right?
It doesn't mean that the status quo for GB, the personnel will change. They'll go around, but
you know there was.
So let's say you can be working at Joy News or Joy FM or wherever, in which you're allowed by management to take your own strict editorial positions and things like that. So yeah, so in the court of GJ, you're ethical, you're all that bullshit. Sorry, my language, but you go to GBC and you are not in your stead, you get a call straight away. Happens.
We thought that because the NMC kinds of have, because the NMC has this regulatory
the thing
or oversight responsibility, kind of, they appoint the director general and stuff like that.
I think the GBC thing it's more historical than anything. So
it's true. I mean, I don't expect it to change
because
anyway.
Because at the time when I was there, the people who are there, I think about 2/3 of them are no more there. So you can't say there's a personnel. It's just the way they are structured, by which they are easily accessible to the state.
But they've got one of the best training facilities.
That's one.
Like.
It's the best training I ever received after school. Yeah. I always thank God I worked there.
I worked there too. Except that, I mean, mine was unique. It wasn't
but even
but it was you're on air, you say something wrong and you're corrected. Right.
I mean, they're very professional in the way they want you to undertake delivery of things.
All right, let's move on. We aired in scrapping nursing training allowances. The NDC is backtracking now. NPP 2016 manifesto, Noble bats. Imani has got some comment to say on that. You can read a lot more on this. There are other stories on the site if you're interested. But let's do the Africa page of the BBC. Free Chibok girls reunite with families. 21 schoolgirls who had been kidnapped by the Islamist group Boko Haram in the Nigerian town of Chibok have been reunited with their families. Well, there were fears that...
And we're told that 83 more are left.
Yeah, 83 more are left. There were fears that they would come home with children because some of them had been married off, blah, blah, blah. I think the good news is, out of the 21, there was only one girl that they said came with a child, but even that... The report was that she was pregnant before they captured her.
Okay.
That's what they said. I guess maybe they are looking at the age of the child.
My difficulty is the trauma they'll have to go through readjusting.
That's true.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. But the families are too excited.
How long ago was this?
2 years.
2 years now?
2 years. 2014. 2 years. But I think the good news, if you like, is that those who captured them, who still have a lot more of the girls, over 80 of them, they are ready to exchange. But we don't know what they are exchanging these girls for. That's still not very clear. Oh, I think I heard was money. Yeah, I heard was money.
If you take a look at the ladies and the day when I think they were released or they were shown to the media, I thought it was not right. Wouldn't they be traumatized, or perhaps there will be that level of stigma?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what to think, really. But you know, today's media is not like...
Okay. Read a thing in blue.
The highlights. Buhari's kitchen comments condemned. Senegal opposition clash with police. Can we just click on the highlight? Because and the Nigerian president made these comments. Some say it was supposed to be a joke, but I've heard that even if it was a joke...
But this was no joke.
Even if it was a joke, I mean, you can't make a joke like that.
No, it was no joke. Who jokes like that? It was no joke.
And trending on Facebook, I realized yesterday, there are a lot of guys who are declaring that they love their wives. They don't think that their place is in the kitchen.
On my Twitter handle, I straight away condemned it, because I felt it's one of the most ignorant statements to be ever made by somebody who is a role model for people, and more so somebody who is a head of state. Because we have various role models, even your community, your assemblyman, your head of department in a school, your wife or your husband. Some can be your role model. Now you are the president of your country and you make this comment. And to no mean a person than your wife, the wife that you constantly will have to go back to. And then you said, well, it was just an off-the-cuff comment. And I made it. And you have daughters who are lawyers. He has
got 3 girls.
Yeah. I think all of them are lawyers, or many of them. I think many of them are lawyers or something.
I don't know.
What serious professionals? So are you saying?
He's seriously disappointed a lot of people.
Seriously, already
lots of people.
His governance is being questioned, and then you go and make this very. I think he just lost it there. I think he just lost it.
He didn't even make those comments at home, eh?
And look, the times when women were marginalized and things like that, and in society, because we're still chauvinists, we have to move away from that. Women constantly have the same opportunity, or need to be given the same opportunities and have the same intellect as men. So what's a worry?
I think his aides should stop saying that this was a joke and the president loved it, even if it was a joke. And after he said that, he went ahead to defend himself. you know, like if you like, I've done like 3 elections, blah 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 blah, like as if he's talking to like Donald Trump or something. He's on the platform with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is accusing him and he's defending himself. I mean, and people are really, really disappointed. If this is what you think about your wife, then you can imagine what he thinks about other women who are not as close to him, because your wife is like the closest.
Yeah.
That's the mother of your children. And if you think of her this way, then how about those of us that you don't even know, but those of us who voted for you? You know, it's crazy, the interpretation. I think the interpretation that people are put into it, absolutely right. There are people who are also saying that, was the wife right in saying the things that she said? You know?
I think the wife was just echoing what the Nigerian society seems to think about his presidency. Because, you know, but it's also a reflection of the type of promises that the politicians give. They make mouth-watering promises. But your financials or your finances of your country cannot always be meeting them.
Maybe the people also miscalculated, because the Buhari before is obviously not the Buhari now.
And he cannot be the Buhari now, because he was an army general.
So maybe they were thinking,
who was leading an army junta, and so you can do everything that you want. But now, Charlie, you have to go through the Senate and.
So maybe that's why I said that maybe they just.
What phrase do we use now? Rule of law, yeah?
Yeah. It is. It's a democracy. So for those of you who missed, just in case, the Nigerian First Lady, in an interview with the BBC, warned that she may not support her husband in the next election. And there was also a bit about a lot of the people that they've appointed. The president doesn't know, they were not with him when he was campaigning and things like that. So more like he's been surrounded by people who
and then know. Somebody called Gaba Shehu,
and this is one of the 8.
My friends, right? Can't a leader get a sense of humor? Joking about this is no sense of humor. Because the president laughed before that statement.
That doesn't make it. It doesn't make any difference. No, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make any difference.
I'm imagining I have a daughter. I'm working very hard to educate her. Maybe let's say to go to medical school or to be an entrepreneur or something, and then you come and make this sort of comment.
You belong to my kitchen, in the other room.
What?
I mean, if his children are married, what should the husbands be telling them?
Yeah. Oh, Papa Krase.
Yeah. In fact, oh, Papa Krase, oh, mommy, her place is the kitchen. What do you expect me to do? I mean, this is like the biggest, and of course, international media feeding on this, because he said it today. And there's a picture. Oh, I wish I could show you. There's a picture I saw on Facebook. You know the Nigerian delegation that went to Germany? They're seated like one table.
I saw.
And the German delegation is here. Papers. The Nigerian, and I'm sure they said they were going for dinner or something. Okay, so you see our colleague Africans all seated at the table, no documents, nothing, ready to eat. You see the plates and the knives and the spoons and stuff in front of me. And then you see on the German side.
I'm sure it was a working dinner or something.
Yeah, on the German side, they've all got documents. All of them. Everybody has got some piece of paper and stuff like that. Yeah, and somebody said, yeah, typical, right?
Anyway.